regular working people. So
Mm-hmm.
we're talking in the still in the metropolitan area of Lisbon. We've got here to figure out one thing. Let me give you an example. Lisbon city. I don't know if you know. Give me an example. I
Yeah.
don't not familiar
Yeah,
with.
I did work. I understand. You can carry on, sir.
Yeah, the Lisbon city fits. Four Lisbon cities can fit inside the peripheric boulevard in Paris. So Lisbon city is very small. Normally, when we talk about Lisbon, talk what is called metropolitan area of Lisbon, which is more or less about the size of Istanbul. Okay,
Yeah.
so this is the issue we have here. So when we move out of Lisbon center and go to these areas, then you can on residential go up to 6 or 7. So residential may go from 2 to 6. If you move to retail, normally it will go from 5, 4.5 to 7.
Okay.
Offices, the same. Sometimes retail may go up to 8. If you go to logistics, it may go a little higher to 9 or 10, depending on how you buy it and what's the tenant. So this
Okay.
is roughly what you have. So in terms of, depends on the nature of the asset and location of the asset. Useful, what I normally, not fancy, but useful properties tend to have a higher yield than
Okay.
just
And what's
luxury.
the great, sir? Thanks. And sir, what's the if I choose a retail piece or a commercial investment, what is the decent investment amount that what a figure we should take that we can get a decent property?
Uh, for instance, we have supermarkets already with tenant around 500 euros, 500,000 euros
Okay. Okay.
with 7% yield.
Great.
Just a ugly, low cost supermarket, very useful for people to buy the food every day,
Mhm.
located in the residential area outside the city center.
Mhm.
So it's kind of it's not a fancy shop. It's a very useful shop for their owners or for the tenant
Mhm.
with selling food and for the people who are buying food. And this is the type of property where the yields are high. And so from an investment point of view, that's probably what I called, inverted commas, useful. So
Great.
properties, assets that are working every day with the tenant and with the public.
And this investment you are talking that there are tenant is already present and rent is coming there.
Yes, I can tell you even the tenant. The tenant is a low cost, probably you have heard about it. It's a Spanish company called the DIA, DIA. It's
Okay.
kind of it's
Great.
a small, it's a low cost supermarket network. They are across the world. They are in India, they are in China, they are in Portugal. They are a bit all over the place.
Okay. And this 7% return is a gross return, right? There is a tax deduction on this.
It's gross. Yes, it's gross.
You're right.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you
Yeah,
very
it's
much.
just to give you a taste of what we're talking about. Okay.
Sorry, sir.
Please, Mr. Ankur. Yes, Ankur Gargiji, please continue.
Yes, yes. So I have a few questions. So my case I've discussed with you, Mr. Seni. I'm trying to immigrate to my mother. I am resident in Germany.
Yeah.
My question regarding the company is how easy it is to navigate in English language, or is it mostly in Portuguese? And second, how easy it is to hire people from India in this company. So,
Okay.
for example, if I form a company and I say I want to have my mother as an employee, how easy it is?
Okay. What stats you have in Germany? You are national or residence?
No, I'm a German citizen.
You are German citizen. So in order to invite your mother in Portugal, you would like to invite your mother in Portugal, yeah? Right?
Yes.
Okay, that's right. So in this case, you don't need to hire your mother in your company.
Okay.
In this case, you can invite your mother as EU family reunification
Family.
because you are
This
holding
you.
EU nationality.
Yes.
If you having any commercial relation with Portuguese authority or Portuguese state way, you can prove that you have sufficient income in Portugal from whatever sources as a freelancer or as a after creation of the company or as an employee in Portuguese company. Then later, immediately you can call your mother here in Portugal
Okay.
as EU family member. In this case, if you would like to call your mother basis of employment visa, it's very hard. It's taking a
Different
long
thing, yes.
time. It's really, really hard.
Mm.
But as an EU under Article 15/37, it's quite easy. It's quite easy.
Okay. And how long this company has to be profitable, or can we show our income
No,
somewhere else?
EU national is no need to prove fixed or sufficient income. Just you have to prove that you are residing, you have a house here, and you are doing something. Whatever income you are generating, maybe 600 euro or 700 euro a month. That's it. There is no particular requirement for the EU nationals. It's very, very soft rule for EU nationals and EU family members.
Very good.
Yeah.
And English language, sir, is it easily navigate?
It's like German.
Okay.
You know, you are residing in Europe,
Yes.
so you know what's it's in Europe about English. Because Portuguese official language is Portuguese. They don't speak much in English.
Okay.
Of course, you can find a lot of information available in English, even
English,
in government websites, but the official language is not accepted in English.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Please.
Thank you.
All right, sir. Thank you.
Yeah.
Please.
Yeah.
So I would like to request to Anish. I think she is here. Anish, are you there? Anish?
Hello, yes.
Yes. I would request to you that please, if you could give your presentation about your project which you prepare, is a good idea. How long you will take time for the presentation?
2 minutes, maybe. It's going to be very...
It's quite very short. Okay, then we can take another questions. Please, we will look, presentation.
Short notice. Just a second.
Share the screen with you.
Start video. Okay. Can you see me? Okay.
Yeah.
So good afternoon all. My name is Inês Queiroz. I'm an attorney at law in Portugal. I have been working in immigration law for 4 years now. I have experience working not only in Portugal as well with other EU countries in Asia, South America and Oceania. Today, I was requested by Crown team to speak a little bit about investment in Portugal and what are your opportunities regarding the laws in Portugal. So basically, you always have to first check if you are exempted of a visa to Portugal. For example, for Indian nationals or Pakistan nationals, depending on the nationalities. I'm telling you this because of the main clients of Crown. You always have to apply for a visa while you are still abroad in your country. To apply to that visa, you have to go to the consulate in India, the Portuguese consulate. To be honest with you, this week, for example, in New Delhi, it's closed due to the COVID situation, but we hope that it will open soon. I just read the note yesterday in the website, so we hope to have soon. You have to apply for visa. It's a visa under Article 60 of our Allianz Act. And in order to come here, you have to prove that you want to make any investment. Okay, so this is for who has any idea for entrepreneurship or, for companies, and you can apply for this visa. Once arrived in Portugal, you will apply for the temporary resident permit, also for entrepreneurs. Another option for you, that for the audience that is looking at this presentation, is to apply for the Golden Visa. The Golden Visa is something that is being very discussed not only in Portugal, but also Cyprus and Malta because of the laundering legislation. Portugal is reducing also a lot the Golden Visas, and until 31 December 2021, so only this year, the legislation will keep the same, which means that starting from 1st January next year, it won't be allowed to buy any houses in Oporto, Lisbon, or in the major parts of Algarve. So there is like a diploma where you can check where you can buy houses, for example, for the Golden Visa or not. When I speak about Golden Visas, it's not only to open companies. It can also for opening, buying properties. It's also for opening companies, employing at least 10 people, or make investments like in arts, other cultures. So it depends on your business. I'm telling you about properties because the major part of the visas, the Golden Visas that were granted in Portugal is related to the property, so the real estate industry. I believe that we have someone here from the real industry, the real estate industry that can confirm that information. So in that case, as I was telling you, if anyone here is planning to apply for a Golden Visa, you should do it before the end of the year, because from January onwards, it won't be allowed anymore. And there is also something called the startup visa, for the startups that Crown team already explained before, and along with the tech visa presented on the Article 89 of the Aliens Act as well. And what else did I wanted to tell you? Yes, mainly the presentation was this. I just wanted to know if you have any questions, and then you have other opportunities to come to Portugal. I was here listening to some presentations, and I realized that some people want to invest. Sorry? Okay, I didn't listen. But I wanted to add that there is also something called the D7 visa, which you can apply in case you have some fixed revenue or in case you are a pensioner abroad. So in that case, you don't have to make a direct investment in Portugal. You can come to Portugal and living out of your own revenue with the application for a D7 visa. And once you apply, you will have a resident permit. Along with the resident permit, you always have the opportunity to apply also for the family reunification for at least wife, husband, and kids. Then for the other people like parents, I have received many requests for parents. It depends if they are economically depending on you or not. Those were my main topics. If you have any questions, just feel free to ask me. Thank you.
There is
Hi, good evening.
just a clarification. Yep. Question?
Yes, there is one question, please. Okay. I have around 25,000 euro, and I also have a valid Spanish tourist visa. Is it possible for me to come to Spain and then come to Portugal, and then I can invest that 25,000 for any kind of small business? Is it possible?
How much do you have, sorry?
25,000 US dollar.
And what's your nationality?
I'm from Pakistan, but settled in Dubai actually.
But, sorry, setting in the way?
In Dubai.
In the way to Pakistan?
I'm working in Dubai actually, but my nationality is Pakistan.
Okay, you are working in Dubai. Okay, I have some applications now in Dubai. To be honest with you, I can tell you from personal experience, like brand new from today, that the consulate in Dubai is not working so well, in Abu Dhabi, sorry. So every time you want to come here, you should apply for a visa first in Abu Dhabi. Okay, and then you will come to Portugal. Regarding the $25,000 that you have, yes, it's enough to apply for a D7 visa. In case you want to open a company, it's also possible to open the company and come through a D2 visa. If you have the need for more detailed information, you can always liaise with Crown, and Crown will liaise with me, and we can clarify more questions. But please always realize that you cannot travel here to make investments without a valid visa. It's very important. And you always have to book an appointment before at the BFS. So if you are in Dubai, you have the BFS in Dubai. You don't have to go to Abu Dhabi. And the BFS liaises directly with the consulate in Abu Dhabi. But please note that due to Ramadan, the working hours of the consulate in Abu Dhabi now are only from 8:30 to 12:30. So please be sure that you prepare all the documents in advance and do not come to travel without the valid residence visa, okay?
All right, thank you very much.
I would like to explain a little more about this subject.
Hello.
One moment. Hello. I would like
Yes,
to
yes.
explain. Yes, sir. So you already explained that you have valid visa of Spain. Yeah, you already have.
Yes,
Yeah. Then in this
Yes.
case, of course, basis of Spanish visa, you can travel to Portugal. And further, you can, basis of your valid visa of Spain, you can create a company in Portugal. You can, whatever business you want, you can start in Portugal. And then later, you can go back to Dubai and request for D2 visa, as already explained. Ines is already explained regarding this D2 visa, it's entrepreneur visa. You can apply and come again to Portugal and obtain a residence card. This is one option. Another option you have, once you landed in Portugal, basis of whatever visa of Schengen, and you find some opportunity, you find some business in Portugal, of course, you have right to request for residence under Article 89.2. Still, you have opportunity, but we highly recommended you come in Portugal with appropriate visa in order to get residence title very quick and very smooth way. Because in the Article 89.2, it's take a longer time. You will be stuck. You can't return back to Pakistan. You can't return back to Dubai if you overstayed in Portugal. Of course, you will obtain the residence title, but it will take a longer time. So we highly recommend it. Whatever visa you enter, create a company, formation business, start business, and return back, then come with appropriate visa. I'm right, Anish?
Yes, last time I spoke directly with Seth was weeks ago, and all the appointments were suspended. So coming to Portugal and trying to apply here for 89, it's not the best idea right now, because most likely won't get an appointment like within the next year.
Yes, next year.
So what will happen is that if it happens the same as yesterday, that Seth issue some legislation saying that everyone that submitted applications, until a certain date, they are legally in Portugal, but it's not the best situation, because then the people are kind of locked in Portugal and they cannot travel to their own countries. And for example, I don't know about you guys, but for my Pakistan nationals this week, they were in Dubai and they are all returning to Pakistan to celebrate Ramadan, the special week, which starts on the 10th with their families. So I don't want my clients to be locked in Portugal without being able to leave. So I always provide them the solution. Please come with a visa. You can, go and return. There is a maximum of ways, so 2 or 4, and then they can, be with their families. Because I've met a lot of people that they are just locked in Portugal, and they know if
They are stuck due to
back to Portugal. So that's why I always advise for the visa.
Good.
Hello.
Okay, in this case, just one more question.
Please.
Yeah, in this case, instead of Spanish visa, if I have a Portugal visa as well, tourist visa, if I land in Portugal in a legal way, then still I have to go back to Abu Dhabi to do the visa status of going to open the company, or it will be done everything in Portugal even if I landed directly in Portugal in tourist visa.
Even if you landed in Portugal on C category visa, still the rule remains same. Whether it's the Schengen visa, whether it's a state-based C category visa of Portugal, the rule remains same. There are always 2 chances to apply inside country, to apply from outside country as a residence. If you would like to apply residence card outside country, then you should have D type of visas, or called D2 visa or D7 visa, or maybe D6 visa, or maybe another kind of there are several programs, depends on your situations. One. Another hand, you have a C category visa, it's less than 90 days. If you enter basis of that visa, then of course you need to exit the country before expiry your visa. After you re-enter basis of new visa with appropriate visa, we always recommended. If you want to stay, as Anish already explained, you will stuck at least 1.5 years or maybe 2 years, because SAF do not have any appointments. So you will not obtain the card 1.5 years. So what you cannot travel back to your home country, to your residence country. Maybe you miss your family or your previous business, back business. You will so think before moving further.
Just an advice, if you are actually in Portugal or in Spain, I would already open the company, and also I would open a bank account, because once you are abroad within the consulate, it's very important that you can prove some connection to Portugal. And if you already have a company here within, the grounds, if it's a limited liability company or, anonymous company, the type of, especially if you really have a bank account already in Portugal. It's very important to show that you already have some connection to the national territory. It really helps to accept your application to grant you the visa.
Great. Let me give the presentation of how to create a company in Portugal while you are not inside of Portugal. Let me give you the small presentation, please. After that, I will take your questions. Please see my presentation first. I'm sharing my screen, giving you the presentation. If you are not inside Portugal, you would like to open a company in Portugal, you would like to open a branch office in Portugal, you would like to set up your representative office in Portugal. So I'm giving you the small presentation in a few minutes. Please have a look. Okay. Yeah, we just made a presentation. There are 12 steps in order to open a branch office or new office in Portugal. This is the 12 steps. You have to adopt this 12 steps only. So I will explain later, or you can get more information on my website. But I just make it a very small, so that you will quick understand how to open a company while sitting in your home country or while residing in your home country. So in Portugal, let's have a look, please. Step 1. Step 1, type of company. So there are 6 type of companies are available in Portugal: LDA, Unipersonal LDA, SA, SC, SNC, EIRL. The most common and most popular LDA, or Unipersonal LDA. This is the most common and most popular if you would like to small scale business, small and medium businesses. So it's limited liability companies, LDA, so-called LDA and Unipersonal LDA. So you have to choose type of company. If you have a capital more than 50,000 euro, then you have to choose SA. If you have another kind of 3 more segments, but this is for the high worth of value of the company. So we always recommended, if you have a small scale business, so you choose LDA or Unipersonal LDA. सबसे पहले, number 1, you have to choose the type of company. Then step 2, address for company worth. So where your company will born in Portugal, you should have a physical address or you should have virtual address for the company worth. So you need to choose address where you want to formation company in Portugal. So choose a location. Maybe it will possible at home, it will possible at commercial place or anywhere. You can give the address to the competent authority, virtual address of your apartment, of your friend apartments, of somebody's who will just receive your letters of your company. This is the step 2. And the step 3, tax number. Tax number, Portuguese tax number of the shareholder of the company, partners, board of director, managers. It's personal tax number. It's this tax number not belong to the company. In order to open company in Portugal, the shareholders, partners, board of directors, manager should have Portuguese tax number. This is possible. If you are not here, you just give the power of attorney to us or to someone or to representative or to lawyer or to any other person. He will obtain tax number basis of you from the competent authority. Then it's a step 4. Okay. After, if you once you have a tax number, you need to delegate your power to the lawyer or to the notary public or to the local residents who's already residing in Portugal. You can delegate your power for creation of company to the below mentioned peoples. You can give the power. Basis of power, they can act in the competent authority in the department for the further proceeding. It's step 4. Step 5, choose a name. Choose a name of the company. You have to pre-existing names. If you would like to desire name, it's little bit complicated and little bit take a longer time because we need to request to the competent authority before 10 days and pay extra fees is 175 euros in order to find desired name. But there are so many pre-existing names on this website. I will share you the link. You can choose a name of the company from this website, which is already existing names. Then number 6, prepare MOU, memorandum of understanding. The lawyer will prepare memorandum of understanding for you, where we mention address of the company, capital of the company, a share owner of the company, here and who's the responsible and management board of directors, and this all information we need to put in the memorandum of understanding articles in the contract. And number 7, okay, sign a document and memorandum of understanding. You will receive the memorandum of understanding and other document. You have to sign this all documents. Then number 8, you have to pay state fees. It's if is the company online, 220 euro you have to pay. If is offline, 360 euro you have to pay. It's a state fees, it's government fees. You have to bear that. You can pay by online, you can pay by internet banking and all. There are several ways to pay the fees. Then you will get a certificate. Number 9, you will get certificate like this. This is one of certificate, and you can get online access code. There are on the top, if you can see 7723501. This is online. You can see your company data on the state government website by this accessing by this code. Then you have to apply the beneficiary certificate. In order to open a bank account for the company, you should have beneficiary certificate. Then you have to apply this certificate. It takes 1 hour. In an hour, you will receive the beneficiary certificate. Then you can open your company bank account. It is also obligation. After creation of company, within 15 days, you should open the bank account. If you not hire an accountant within 15 days, or you can't open a bank account, then you have a fine 150 euro. It is very important. After creation of the company, you have a responsibility to hire an accountant, open an account, and give the confirmation to the relevant authority like a tax or social or labor or maybe other kind of authorities that managed by the accountant. It's number 12. It's last is hire an accountant. It is very important. If you have a LDA or Universal LDA, then you should have official accountant, certified accountant who will manage your accounting services. This is the 12th step. After this 12th step, have a great business. Enjoy business in Portugal. So, if you have any questions regarding the company creations or branch office, please shoot your queries and questions. I will just explain more about this.
Sir, what will be the